Hi, Tony. I'm Trisha Willie from Gardner. How are you today?
I'm good. It's great to finally put a face to the name I've been hearing a lot about. So really looking forward to the meeting.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I've heard that you've been in this position for 3 months now. How is this going for you?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been a whirlwind. They're definitely keeping me busy. I have a lot on my plate. I never have enough time to do it all, obviously, but
Mhm.
my team has been a blast. I have enjoyed everyone on Zoom so far. I've yet to go into the office for a meeting or any engagements, but I have a good foundation here, I feel like. But yeah, I'm definitely busy and have a lot to do.
Right, that's awesome. That's super exciting too, by the way. So today I'm here to discuss a partnership between Gardner and United Bank. Before we get started, is there any questions that you have or topics of importance you'd like to touch on during our meeting together?
Yeah, I think I'll let you kind of stay in control here, and I'm looking forward to see what you have planned for us today. So I trust your instincts, but I'll let you know if something does come up along the way.
Awesome, perfect. Sounds great. Well, today I'm going to present to you different packages that Gardner offers that may benefit the company or interest you. Our meeting today should be about 15 minutes. Does this still work for you?
Yeah, 15 works for me.
Awesome, awesome. Well, to the outcome of our meeting today, we're going to go over different packages that Gardner offers moving forward into a partnership and given the opportunity of setting up a meeting in the future. Now, before we get started, is there anyone who needs to be considered in the decision-making process?
Yeah, so the decision-making process will start with me and having these conversations. I'll see if there's a legitimate business need associated with this. If there is, then you will meet with our CFO, Megan.
Okay,
From there, she has ultimate signing power on any decisions moving forward.
awesome. Now, is there anything or any information I need to know about the supplier as well before we get started?
No, I think you're good.
Okay. Well, congratulations, by the way, on 100 years of banking. That's super exciting. So I read on LinkedIn that you're very passive about and passionate about building teams that create and achieve goals. Would you say this is something that you still stand by?
Absolutely. I mean, that's a foundation in mostly everything I do here. I did just recently start an internship program here, so that's just taking that and kind of giving back to people in the community.
Right, that's super exciting. That's awesome. Now, would you say that these same like values correlate to building relationships and communications with these business leaders?
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's once again a great foundation for us here, and I think you hit the nail on the head.
Awesome. Now, are there any challenges with these skills that you would say United Bank has?
Yeah, I think just looking at challenges in general, we're always trying to remain competitive. That's something that I see issues, I deal with on a daily basis. I'm currently looking to create and execute an IT strategy that's going to really help us with our competitive advantage, as well as achieving our overall goals. I mean, that's something that's a daily task for me and a challenge, I would say, within my past 3 months here.
Gotcha. Okay, so if we were to find a solution for that, would this be something that you're interested in?
Yeah, I mean, if you could find a way to keep us competitive and really set us apart in a very tight competitive market, I think that would be something I want to hear more about.
Awesome. Well, you were just talking about your goals, which actually leads me to my next question. Could you explain some of the goals that you have for the company?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the biggest one I have that I want to share is we have an overall corporate goal. What that looks like is I'm trying to increase our revenue by 10%. With that, I also want to cut our costs by 10%, by 4%, sorry. Um,
Okay.
so obviously increasing revenue is important, but at the same time, you need to cut costs while you increase revenue. So
Mhm.
those go hand in hand. So that's my big overarching goal.
Okay. And how do you plan to achieve some of these goals?
Yeah, so with the revenue aspect of things, I'm currently looking at initiating a mobile strategy to really improve our customer experience. This is something that I think will differentiate ourselves when it comes to this competitive market. And then you look at the cost cutting side of things. Using my research team, which are my interns, to look around and look at the costs associated with other banks in our industry. That's been difficult though to do. Obviously, it's confidential information, so there's some roadblocks here and there.
Right.
But those are the two things I'm doing to combat those goals.
Awesome. Now, could you break down a little bit of the budget for me?
Sure. So right now I'm dealing with a $6 million budget available for technology spend.
Okay.
So obviously that's consisted up a lot of current spend we're having. I don't have exact numbers, but that 6 million is something you can work with just to kind of base your hypothesis off of when you're dealing with that. But yeah, 6 million is a good place to start.
Awesome. Now, could you explain some of the challenges that the company may have in terms of your budget, like when it comes to the cost reduction and cost optimization, such like that?
Yeah, I would say it's overall understanding is a good place to put it. Our understanding of how to save money and optimize our spend in a sufficient way and to allocate our funds is something that the team is struggling with, and I've been leveraging those interns' research to try and figure that out. I
Mhm.
can't say that's the best way to do it, but it's something that's available as well as affordable for us to do.
Okay. And now, what impact would you say that this has had on the company?
Yeah, I think trying to understand your spend is a tough impact there because you can always spend more, but it's you don't always have the money to do it. So I want to put forth a good name on myself, especially being early in the company. So if I can find a way to better optimize our spend, that's something that can probably benefit me in the long run.
Right, of course. Now, if we could find a solution to these challenges as well, would this be something that you're interested in?
Yeah, of course, obviously.
Okay, perfect. So just to reiterate a little bit, what I got out of this is that you're looking to improve relationships with business leaders and trying to find different solutions in terms of your goals when it comes to the cost reduction and such like that.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. So I am going to suggest to you two services that we at Gardner offer. This would be cost optimization and in terms of executive partners. Is this something that you would be interested in learning more about?
Yeah, I mean those are all foreign terms to me, but I think you'll enlighten me by the end of this call.
Awesome. So I will go ahead and share my screen with you. What just happened? There we go. Okay, perfect. So before I begin these two suggestions that I have, I want to touch a little bit on what Gardner is all about.
Sure.
At Gardner, we are the world's top advising and research company. We help provide business leaders with guidance of objective insights that can help the company lead to the right decision. And so, as I was saying, my two suggestions are cost optimization and executive partners. The first thing that I'm going to touch on a little bit is the cost optimization. In this, we have two different tools that we offer, one of them being the IT budgeting tool. Now, in this, we are able to determine spending and areas that could be removed or cut from the company. And another thing that we offer is a contract view. Now, with this, we are able to save on average 15 to 20% in cost savings. And out of 75% of contracts, we have been able to identify cost savings. Do you think that this is something that could be beneficial to the company?
Yeah, I mean if it has something to do with saving money, I obviously see the value in that. So yeah, I see the value 100%.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Now, the other thing that I was going to suggest to you is the executive partner. Now, this is very similar to a mentor. You would meet with them about once a month, and then they would teach you different types of techniques for communications when it comes to building relationships with the team and other business leaders. Do you think that this could be beneficial to United Bank?
Yeah, I mean, having someone who's been in my shoes before is very important to me, and helping establish. I think with the when it comes to time management, especially. I mean, I said time is something that's been difficult for me over these past couple months. So if I could run some questions off of them, that could be beneficial for sure.
Right. Awesome. That's super great to hear. Go ahead and stop sharing this. There we go. Now, are there any questions or anything that you have for me?
Yeah, I think I have a couple actually for you. The
Okay.
first, I look at everything you're showing me and it looks interesting, but like I said, at the end of the day, I don't have much time. So
Mhm.
I'm nervous that I won't have as much time as I'd like to actually use these services and get the most out of them. Especially like the cost optimization. I don't know if I have time to like sit there and plug in numbers and read reports and stuff like that.
Right, right. Yeah, that's completely like understandable. Like I completely get what you're coming from. Nowadays, time is very valuable. And do you think like could you reiterate or reiterate that for me a little bit more on like in terms of your team as well? When it comes to time, you'd like just explain that a little bit further on the time.
Yeah, so I think right now we're spending a lot of our time on trying to find ways to cut that budget down.
Mhm.
I feel if I'm spending so much time, plugging in these numbers and this, and maybe the report could be wrong or I'm not reading it right, it could just be a confusing process that ultimately just ends me in a endless loop, I guess you could say, of
Right.
just reading information that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. And like sometimes that can just be super confusing and upsetting and irritating as well. Well, one thing that I can suggest though is that Gartner does all the work for you. You
Mm,
don't have to put in any extra work or that time that you said that you're worried that you don't have in the first place. Um, and we offer this by a flat rate of 50,000 per year, which would be over 150,000 per year. That is, like I said, a flat rate, and that would be going into years 2 and 3 as well.
yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a lot of money. I'm obviously looking to cut costs, and I don't think Megan's going to approve that, our CFO. $150,000 is a big price tag to put in front of her, and I feel like she's just gonna laugh at me when I bring that forward.
Yeah. Um, would you say that like the issue with the price being is because you are doing the cost cuts and such like that?
Yeah, I think the main problem here is that I'm trying to bring everything down by 4%, and I bring something that's you know 2% of our budget forward. It's a
Mhm.
hard pill to swallow. Saying that I'm just spending $150,000, Megan, here, please sign. It's difficult.
Right. Yeah, 100 it can be a big, amount to put in front of somebody, especially at 1 minute. But I
Mhm.
do have to say though, like I said, was, showing you in the presentation about the contract review, um, say we are able to identify $750,000 of cost savings, that equates to about $150,000 in savings that you could put somewhere else though.
Yeah. Yeah, that does make sense. That kind of clears that up for me. I think if I come with that approach to Megan, she'll probably better understand where I'm coming from and can probably see the value a bit more.
Mhm, yeah. That's great to hear, though. Now, would you like to set up a meeting with Megan going further? Does Wednesday at 4 work for you?
Yeah, let me look. Wednesday, yeah, that looks good for me. Looks good for Megan as well. So let's do Wednesday at 4. That looks like it could work great for us.
Awesome, perfect. Well, thank you for meeting with me again. I'm super excited that we got the opportunity to chat and meet and work on this partnership between United Bank and Gardner.
Yeah, likewise, it was a pleasure.
Awesome.